All right, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Mahogany Clark, also known as Mahogany Writes with a Z at the end. And I am the author of these 3 best-selling books. My very first book, Self-Love, which is a poetry book. My second book, A Cup of Family Tea, which is a short biography about my life before I joined the military. And my third book and my very first children's book, also best-selling as well, sold over 200 copies of this book on hand and online. And I am 21 years old. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I actually published my very first book when I was 19 years old.
Okay, so a lot of what you write about, do you incorporate that in your books or your poetry, anything like that?
A lot of what I write about actually started out when I was growing up as a child, and that's where self-love actually came from a bundle of different poems that I did that I noticed I wasn't really putting myself first in the situation, and I was caring more for the other person, so I kind of put them together. It was like recent poems and old poems, but originally I would write to just kind of release stress and, therapeutic reasons, and it just helped me have a voice without actually speaking, basically.
Okay, yeah. So while we at it, can you go through some of your books that you have?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. This is Self-Love, my very first book. This is my poetry book. This was basically inspired after I had went through like a rough patch of I'm in the military. I done went through training. I know I'm in the military, but I don't know what my purpose is in life. So I'm like purpose searching. I'm wondering, what's next. Things just kind of became stagnant, and I was like, something needs to come from the pain that I endured or the things that I went through, and so I could put it on a platform and other people can see what I've been through, and maybe they can relate and they can be more open about talking about their own story. So Self-Love is basically a bunch of different poems that I go through, and it's like different scenarios that I went through where the situation, I felt like my best interest wasn't, played well, or it wasn't really at heart by the other person. So I might have wrote something down, just kind of release it, and then kind of forgot about it, because I would write it down in my journal that I have back in my barracks, actually. So that's where that comes from.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, you wrapped that one up. Now,
yeah.
What else you got over here?
And then A Cup of Family Tea. This one right here. This is basically the short biography that I wrote about my life from my perspective growing up, the things that I went through with my family, the things that I went through in my home, the things that I might have heard from my family that they might have went through, and also just kind of trying to bring insight to why I was probably going through those things in my home, maybe because it stemmed from something else in my parents' home. So that's what this book originally was supposed to do, but it kind of stepped on toes, of course, because I released it and I didn't necessarily send a copy to the family, or be like, oh, proofread this and this is what I'm releasing. I only really spoke to one person, and that was my aunt, but she didn't even know exactly what I was going to put in the book, because she only saw the beginning. So, and then she kind of altered what I had already. So it was pretty much a shock to everybody, especially my father, because his part in the book was pretty significant, because it talks about why I am who I am, and why I might think the way I do, why I do things the way I do, and why I feel like I really have no choice but to be greater in life. This book just pretty much encourages people to keep going in life, even though they might go through some hard times. It's about what you make it. Life is about what you make it. It's not about where you come from. So you can always alter your own path, choose what you want to do, and just keep going in life. So that's what a cup of family tea is. So
you got a couple motivators to inspire you to write that book then.
Yes, sure do.
What else you got? I know this one right here. This is my kid right here. He loves this book right here.
This is my baby right here, you know. Like, I actually got way more excited about this book originally, and this is actually my third book. So like the first book, it was like overwhelming. I was like, wow, I can't believe I wrote a book. And then my second book, it was pretty sad because I just kind of touched on things that were old wounds. So, you know, it was a little harder to write that one. But this one, it just stemmed from a place of a little bit more happiness. So it wasn't hard to write it. I enjoyed writing it. But the process of like putting this book together, however, was a little bit hard though. Uploading it had some issues, and you know, I had a release date and I started to panic like, dang, you know, it might not be out by that release date. But everything did work out. You know, so I was panicking for no reason, and this book actually came out like really, really well. Thanks to my book editors, Zitro Publications, and my illustrator, who is Nikki Ortiz, and the word like editor, which is Divine Ortiz. People love this book. I love this book. I mean, it sells itself. You know, somebody always loves you. This basically teaches younger children that somebody always loves them no matter who's around them. You know, because growing up, a lot of us had that phase in life where it's like, okay, you know, nobody cares. Mostly teenagers reach that phase, or like older adults can attest to probably reaching that phase when they were younger too, because sometimes it's just, you might, you know, it might be something petty. It's probably not always something serious, but sometimes it is something serious if you don't get the correct nourishment that you need growing up. But what I did notice is somebody is always around that does love you, whether it's your friend, mentor, you know, your mother, your father, your grandpa, your grandma, sister, uncle, you know, your aunties, your cousins, you know, the list goes on. So that's what this book does. It just pretty much encourages you to know that somebody always loves you. So no matter what you're thinking or what wrong happened. So that's what this book is.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now that we got all that wrapped up, I mean, that was a great, I think you kind of could motivate a lot of people to buy your stuff. And I know I was, like I said, first meeting you, you inspired me, so keep it up. I mean, it's all about you, what you need to do, you know. You already know. But at the end of the day, let's go ahead and talk about your how to reach out to you, how to get at you. I mean, your whatever, your email addresses, your phone numbers.
Yep, definitely. Well, not my phone number, but
yeah,
my
but you know,
my social medias are my Facebook is Mahogany Clark, MAHOGANYCLARK, and my Instagram and my Twitter are both Mahogany Writes with the Z at the end. So MAHOGANYWRITEZ. That's both Instagram and Twitter. And my email is borntosoar81@gmail.com. BORNTOSOAR81@gmail.com. And that's how you can reach me. And all of my books, all three of these books right here are all available on Amazon. And actually, this book is actually available on Apple Store, Walmart. I seen this one on Walmart. I seen this one on Walmart too. They just kind of pop up different places.
Wow.
But
famous. Huh?
But these books are definitely all available on Amazon, ebook and paperback. So I have the electronic version and I have paperback versions. Or you can purchase your very own author's copy from me, and I will sign it personally and send it to you along with a free bookmark and, you know, maybe some other goodies. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you. And hey, that's it. Cut.